Welcome to Season 13 of Next Gen. This is the Modern Touring Car category. We're here from Oulton, Park Island. And 5 minutes of qualifying begins with me. That is home track. Or just what I've been told. Phil Humphreys.
Hello there. Yes, I'm very much looking forward to this. Track literally about 25 minutes drive away from where I live.
It'd be funny if you could go and watch this in real life. All the Next Gen boys having a good crack in these touring cars.
Yeah. I'm not sure it would be quite as action-packed as driving one of these things in real life. There's slightly more to it than on a game, but
now, format is 5 minutes of qualifying followed by a 15-lap race. Should make things very, very interesting.
yeah, the track's going to be very, very busy out in qualify, especially with 5 minutes. It's literally, oh, Bensley getting a little bit out of shape there, but literally some parts of the track are going to be very, very bunched up.
Now, let's have a look at the standings whilst they come out and start their first lots of flying laps. Jack TM23 Synopsis leads this championship with 94 points, only 2 ahead of NGR Scooby G. I don't know who is on circuit. NGR Ginge, he's currently 3rd on 74, NGR Martin on 62, D Whitehouse 751, Jamie F at 30, 48, Franzo's on 47, Adam Horace on 44, Rupert 0, 39, Slidegas 28 on 35, Royston 35 as well, Shadow Stalker 30, Cam Rogers and Div 19, C's 82, 16, MLV 2741, 15, Emerald Extreme 15, Tim is on 11, Nath 1981 is on 9, Gidu on 8, and Ben Sully 2000 on 5.
So it won't be long now until the drivers get the times in.
He'll be the first man. It's not going to be Boy Extreme because I think he went out quite late. Ben Sully 2000 clipping the tyre bundle there as he went sideways through the first part.
Now that, in a weird way, that could help Ben Sully out because that'll allow all the traffic to get in front of him now and make their way off into the field, and it will give him some clear track time, or track space, so could play into his advantage really.
Just got to get back to the line though. Remember, only 5 minutes qualifying does not allow you a lot of room for error. Comes Adam Morris for his first attempt. And lap time, yeah, and I think that might have been validated this lap as well for him. Looking at the bottom right race feed.
So Ginge leading the way at the moment in the McGath.
I was speaking to Jack before the race. He said to me, so I said to him that you were staying on to commentate first one, Phil. And his reply was great stuff. He knows it's our home race, so he'll give it some welly. And that welly is got him in 9th place at the moment.
Yeah, it is a local track for Jack as well. Hopefully, I mean, is he going to have time to put another lap in?
Envoy Extreme disconnects again, right at the end of qualifying again. This is not the nice occurrence you want to be having.
I think Jack's just going to have enough time here just to get another lap in as well. It's going to be right at the end.
Yeah, he's got time. Bring it across, and he's put it in pole position for good measure.
So he's definitely giving it the welly. I suppose as he is local, I'll have to cheer on Jack. Although, I shouldn't really show favouritism.
And that'll be invalidated lap time. There you go. So, Jack at the moment on pole position. There's Whitford into Hislop chicane. To Nickerbrook. Very fast right-hander Nickerbrook coming out of Hislops. Clay Hill to Water Tower. And Druids Corner. Up to Lodge, which I think you'll remember, Phil, is very famous for the two Honda teammates of Shedden and Neil crashing out together.
Yes. Yeah, I remember when, so 2 seasons ago when Subaru had the fire, and it was Oulton Parkway, they made their comeback, and they it was Turkington and Plato did a first and second, and they basically did their cool down lap side by side, and I was standing at Lodge Corner for it to like see him drive past, and it was just such a great thing to see. Scooby also, as we're chatting away there, Scooby stole pole, I say stole, took pole right at the end as well. So very good qualifying session. Now, I think that sometimes I like those really short qualifying sessions, just because it's so hard to predict who's going to get it, because it's literally, if you get your timings right and you can cross the line and get that extra lap in, it can really, really benefit you.
Here's the other thing, Jamie FL30 down in 13th and Adam Morris starting dead last in 15th.
And again, because it's such a short session, if you get like, especially on the first corner at Old Hall, if you just go slightly wide on that, the penalty there is quite harsh. So you've really got to watch out for that. And that 5-minute qualifying session, it's one of them. If you don't have any decent laps or the luck goes against you, it could just absolutely go the opposite way from how it did with Scooby and Jack.
So we await the starting orders to proceed here at Oulton Park. And here they come. They sink in. Start to get ready. 3 red lights at Oulton Park. We are green for round 6 of Modern Touring Cars. It's a poor start from Jack. He's going to get swamped here by Fraser, and there's Whitford and rear-wheel drive BMW looking to take the lead into Old Hall.
Yeah, Fraser got a really good start there, really fast off the line. As the camera tries to catch up with Jack in third. Oh, that's NXTGEN going off there, getting caught, back end touched the grass. He's going to lose a lot of time in a lot of places there. Now, has his work cut out. This is Fraser round Island Bend. Going up Hilltop.
Gone round the outside. Round the outside for Jack on the Island hairpin. Cracking move from the McGann man to put himself back into second place and back into contention for this win.
Yeah, that BMW being swamped by McGann's at the moment. Fraser really applying the pressure here. He is coming under attack though.
But so is Fraser coming into Druids from MLV here.
Yeah,
this
this
could help Whitford here.
Yeah, definitely. You can already see the gap that's formed from Fraser, who was, bumper to bumper before, but has allowed a little bit of breathing space to form. But MLV, a new name really to NXTGEN. I've only recently seen him racing in a few leagues, but he's already making quite a good name for himself in the leagues that he takes part in. Oh, that's Fraser going off there.
I think having to avoid Whitford as he went a bit wide and a bit sideways in the BMW.
Oh, no, MLV gets caught up.
Dragged himself out of the gravel, back on at the Cascades. Scooby leads by 1.2. These two your top two in the championship. by 2 points at the moment.
And you just see the distance there as well. Whitford's still under attack from Fraser.
He was also under attack that from Martin behind.
So on board with NGR Martin now. This is about to end lap 2 of 15. Heavy braking into Lodge. Down into Dearsley.
Gold here for the third time. Fraser's still not close enough to make a move.
Oh, back end's coming out. He's able to keep it though. Loses a lot of time though. Fraser's wobbling on the grass.
Gone. Unbelievable scenes there. Oh, that looked like someone going off as well. I think that was Royston.
I think it might have.
Royston.
Thankfully for the drivers, damage is off for the race. Fraser has quite a heavy damaged car. It looks like he might have a slow down penalty.
Allowed MLV passed. Jack has a time penalty as well. In second place.
It is a tricky track on the game to avoid the penalties. It is possible to do though. You just really need to be careful. If you do go off, get your foot off the accelerator, just don't power down, and you should be able to avoid the penalty.
MLB catching up with Adam Morris here. Through Lodge into Dearsley.
Yeah, MLB got caught up. I'm not sure it was before, but got a little bit of touch on the side, which sent him onto the grass and spinning. So he is fighting back now.
Those cascades, very tricky bends. They're beginning right. Going to go very quickly through it.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those corners. Use the camber to the effect. Try and carry as much speed through.
Well, that's how we have Ben Sully, Shannon Stalker, and Tim. Tim has decided to give up the BMW. He started with the BMW and has given up with it, returning to the McGann. He just wasn't getting on with the BMW, but
dear.
He's not going to be on Shadow Stalker's Christmas card list this year after that one.
Yeah, he's not somebody you'll want to remember for the race. Shadow Stalker pretty frustrated with that. Tim is allowing him past though, as a way of apology.
So, and it's a shame if you just miss your braking point around here. It does have severe consequences. Jamie now has a potential slowdown. I think you've slowed down there just a touch. All of this, Ginger's back up to 9th after dropping down to the back of the grid.
Yeah,
starting to catch up to Fraser.
Ginger has raced this track lots and lots of times, so he's well aware of the layout and his braking points. Fraser won't make it easy for him to pass though, if he stays on the black stuff.
Up and near the front for 4th place at the moment. Martin with Jamie behind him, Adam Morris behind that, MLB behind Adam Morris, and then Fraser and Ginge, who seem to be catching up with him, would end up here with a 6-car scrap for that 4th place.
Yeah, not forgetting some of these have just done a 22 lap race around Silverstone, so concentration levels might be starting to fade just a little bit. A little bit lonely for Whitford.
Amazing job so far. 5 laps completed in that BMW, still on the podium positions.
It's nice to see people opting for the BMW though. It's nice to see a slight variant than just McGann's on the grid. It's a shame the Mercedes is so underpowered.
And the Astra as well, for good measure.
Yeah.
I remember Jack trying the Astra last season, and he had a decent pace at Imola, but that was one of the only circuit that the car was really good at, and ended up changing to the BMW partway through.
Need to be careful of that curb. Going into Knickerbrook as well.
She had a bit of a tweak going on there.
Onboard shots with MLB 2741.
See how fast that BMW is in a straight line. It does pull away from the McLaren, to be fair. It obviously has to be earlier on the brakes to get the speed down to get it into the corner. And MLV looking alongside before Old Hall.
I don't think he's going to be able to make it stick now. He has to slot back in.
Oh, and that'll be a penalty for Fraser. He doesn't slow down, but he's carrying immense pace for Old Hall because of it.
There's literally nothing that Adam Morris can do here. He's going to have the inside line, though. He's going to hold it.
Well, MLB looking for a switchback, but Adam Morris parking it perfectly on the apex. Great defensive driving from Adam Morris.
Yeah, very good.
See, Ginge has dropped off the back of his pack, so there was a slight mistake somewhere, slow down.
Fraser's it's just hard to find on certain parts of this track. It's very, very hard to overtake on, and it is all just about sticking with the guy in front, trying to force an error.
Jamie, very close for Jamie, clipping the dirt on the exit of Druids.
Jamie's going to lose up to Adam here.
Will MLV get him as well? It looks like he might well do.
That was Fraser's going to try and find a way past here as well. He's not going to be able to make it through, is he? Down the inside. Oh no!
That's contact. A late lunge from Fraser.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I mean, looking at it, I'd say Fraser was on. There was room for it. I think he was just unsighted, and MLV just moved over slightly, and the rest is obviously what we saw on the screen. I don't think any driver really too much at fault there. Obviously, from the angles we see, it's hard. We can only sort of say as we watched it. Excuse me. But Jamie losing out.
I mean, it looked quite very, very late for Fraser to move into it, and unfortunately the door just closed, as natural racing would assume. I don't think any of them were expecting that sort of move from Fraser. I think they were all thinking he would stay back and try and get a run out of the corner.
Oh,
Jamie's in a walk.
Yeah, it could be frustration a little bit, concentration. It's knocked a little bit by that unfortunate incident.
The red mist needs to get it cleared immediately so he can try and revive what is left of his race.
I mean, it is very easy when you're watching commentate. It's easy to pick out, oh, should this have happened, should not. When you're actually in the car and it's moving a lot faster than what we can see, sometimes you go for a move. And sometimes it pays off, sometimes it doesn't, but obviously we know no driver in this league is going to really do anything on purpose to take someone out. It can just be that slightest little misjudgment, and it just relates into what we see on the screen, but hard to call really. Jamie going down the inside here.
The biggest thing for us is that we can call it slightly better because obviously we have experience in the sim racing field, so we kind of understand what the drivers think, and I think Fraser in that instance thought, hang on, they've both gone a bit wide, doors open.
Yeah.
And in the words of Max Verstappen, let's lick the stamp and send it in there.
Yeah, I don't really think it helped that MLV had Jamie to the other side of him as well. I think he might have moved over slightly just because Jamie was there, so it's one of them. We could pick it apart all night and you could come up with 1,000 different scenarios, but what happened unfortunately. Adam Morris
James
probably, yeah, looks like Adam Morris had a slowdown there. Ginge was definitely carrying a lot more speed than him, but Ginge up to 5th, not forgetting that Ginge lap 1 went to the back of the grid, so made very good progress throughout this race. Is that a slowdown for Ginge there as well? He's got his light flashing.
Yeah, looks like he went away the 4th corner. And he's carrying good pace in it, half a second quicker than Martin, who's ahead of him at the moment in 4th place. Playing more battles. Ben's still behind Jamie. Tro 246, another debutant in the series today. So there we go, starting in 11th place in the McGann. He's had a very clean go of it so far. I will say it's a shame really about Tim losing all this time at the moment, because Tim and Shadowstalker normally have some of the best battles around as Tim goes for the Foster circuit.
He's turned his sat-nav back on now to tell him which way to go. Yeah, I mean, Shadowstalker's been with the group since day one as well, and in fairness to him, he's one guy that will never quit out of a race if something doesn't go his way. He would just keep on going, and he's just an absolute trooper. And if anyone is sort of like a slower racer or towards the back of the grid as well, the races that you can have and the battles that you can have with Shadowstalker are absolutely immense.
Yeah, I can relate to having not retired, because probably a bit like you, Phil. Every race I've started so far, I've actually gone to finish, which is quite an achievement considering some of the instances you can get up in. I mean, I know it's one of those things. It's really hard when you know you're at the back, you've either had an incident and you know you're never going to catch up.
Yeah.
It's almost quite hard to continue on, really. But having that 100% finish record is somewhat important for points.
Yeah, definitely. And sometimes you've just got to treat it like it's real world. If you were a real world driver, you wouldn't be able to go, right, I'm just going to pull in, because your sponsors would just pull out straight away. And I think that's what people forget, is when you're playing a game, people are like, there's no need to carry on, but it just takes something out of it when you see a full grid starting and then a full grid finish. And even if some people are like 30-40 seconds behind, it does add something to the race at the end if everyone just stays in.
What's this battle here with Jamie and Ben Sully, closest people on the circuit so far.
Yeah,
so Ben Sully really is starting to push Jamie here.
Yeah, I was going to say that McGann looking very pacey, coming onto the home straight there. So Ben Sully found some pace from somewhere, although Jamie has pulled away just a little bit. So a little bit smoother through the corners. McGann coming out just a little bit there.
I'm guessing Martin must be listening to the stream, because he has responded to Ginger's times and has matched them so far. So, and he's also got a penalty to worry about, so he's got to make sure he doesn't lose any more time. Otherwise, he could be done out of his 4th place just by a penalty. it's probably one of the most talked about points, really, isn't it? Especially around circuits like Oulton Park, where the penalties are just so strict. It can sometimes limit the racing.
Yeah, penalties is one of these things that always comes up in the next gen sort of like group after races. Some of them we can overturn. So, for example, if you go off track to avoid someone, then it gives you a drive through. You can just ignore that. If you get disqualified at the end, we just overturn it. We just treat it like where we just give you the point of where you finished. What a lot of people don't realise is, though, sometimes they'll say, well, I've been given a slowdown penalty, but it shouldn't have. But they don't realise just how far they go off the track. And what people don't realise is, if you go off, just take your foot off the accelerator. Because if you actually just ease your car through and don't power down, a lot of the time the game won't give you that penalty. It's when you keep your foot down, that's when the game will do it. Because the game's coded. Unfortunately, it's not like real life where... But in real world, penalties will be given as well to people. You just obviously don't see it happen like you do in the game. But yeah, sometimes it can take the edge off it a little bit. It does make people a little bit more cautious. It sometimes can stop the side-by-side racing, but a lot of the time it also stops the abuse of the track cutting that you can find people tend to do when penalties are off. So it's a double-edged sword, really.
See here, Royston and Tro 246. Having a little bit of a battle here for 11th spot. That's Tim letting everyone through.
Yeah. Penultimate lap now as well.
It is, and Tro. It's a solid debut so far from Tro 246. Not obviously blindingly quick off the bat, but you'd never expect to be. And he's just had a really solid go of it so far, and he's going to get rewarded here with is that 6 points?
Yeah.
Remember the point system for it.
And I mean, what you've got to remember as well is pretty much the rest of the field have been racing in this league, not just for this season, but for a few seasons before it as well. So one, they're used to how everyone else drives. When you join a group and you join a race mid-season as well, you're also learning the driving styles of everyone else as well, and it can make you a little bit more cautious. So to finish anywhere really on the table is quite an achievement. I mean, looking at his car as well, there's no damage on it or anything, so he's had a nice clean race as well by the looks of it.
Now, Martin's on the back of Whitford. But Martin, I know a quick check of this, has a 2-second penalty, so right now he's behind Ginge on timings. And he's only got this final lap here to get rid of Ginge by 2 seconds and potentially Whitford.
Yeah, and Whitford's going to be slowing him down here as well, so this is going to allow Ginge to close that gap even more. He only really needs to stay up. I don't think it shows on anyone's screen what time penalty is to be issued, so I don't think Ginge will know about the time penalty. He'll just be one. If
you have the position tower on your HUD, it do show the penalties given to people.
Right. Okay.
So, but only if you have that tower HUD on. Whilst these three are battling away, and I love to keep hold of it, Scooby G is going to win at Oulton Park in a dominant fashion.
Yeah, all on his own there.
And here comes Jack with a bit front end damage. He'll take second at his home race. Whitford will hold on for third here. And we know Ginge will be in fourth thanks to penalties. Martin fifth. Anna Morris will come home sixth for the BMW MLV 27441. Another good result, 7th place. Fraser. Penalty on the end. There's Jamie. And Fraser does beat Ben Sully. I wonder if drove 246 actually in the top 10. with Royston 11th. Ben Sully ready to have some penalties, didn't he?
Yeah, so I think, was it Fraser that finished 11th then, was it?
Yeah, I wonder if no, I finished 9th in the end. So Scooby winning, Jack 2nd, Whitford 3rd, Ginge 4th, Martin 5th, Adam R 6th, MLV 7th, Jamie 8th, Fraser 9th. I wonder if that was Fraser giving back Jamie the position for the earlier incident. Troy 246 in 10th, Royston 11th, Ben Sully down to 12th, D Whitehouse 7th, 13th, Shutterstalker 14th, and Tim rounding out in 15th place.
It could have been the 2 second. It could have been the 2 second penalty for Fraser that's pushed him down to 9th.
Oh no, because he was really slow coming on up to the line. So, and Jamie and MLV both passed on the way to the line. So, I would suspect that was Fraser giving Jamie the position back after that incident. Maybe thinking, I'll carry on racing, but if I don't really get anywhere and I'm one place ahead, I'll just give it back because of that moving incident.
I think Fraser got the fastest lap as well. Just before Scooby.
Yeah. Yep, I will concur on that one. Fraser taking fastest lap, no point for fastest lap though. But Scooby, I believe, after that, will lead the championship, I believe.
I do like Oulton Park.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Okay, I mean, Scooby just took out 4 points from Jack, so now Scooby leads the championship by 2 points, completely reversing the order for the top two, keeping the same gap.
Good performance by Whitford as well. He did well to hold off.
Yeah, good podium actually in the BMW. Very tough car to drive around this track as well, knowing all the corners.
Yeah, you can see from the field just that the Megane is the best all round and easiest to drive of the touring car class.
News from the pit lane, speaking to Jack, apparently he had the pace to keep up with Jeff, was known as Scooby G, but Scooby G just drove perfect and Jack made a couple of mistakes, so that was literally the difference. But next week we are at Sakito. What a track that will be. So do join us next week for Sakito in the modern touring cars. But from myself and Phil, thank you for watching tonight and have a good evening.
Yep, thanks for having me. Catch you all soon.